I don't mind admitting that was nerve-wracking. I had to go and get my passport stamped and they kept me waiting for ages. Right, let's rewind this a bit. This trip actually started as a favour, helping Buck move their fiancée from Orillia to Toronto in Canada, but somewhere along the way it turned into a solo road trip across the States. That's the back camera, you idiot. Right, so we're about 30 miles from the car park and then we've got to muck about and go to the hotel via a shuttle, then another shuttle, because although the airport's walking distance from the hotel, they don't let you bloody walk in. They like to charge you a £5 for a bus. They screw you every chance they get. And I'm guaranteed, because my parking's cheap, it'll probably be in a field somewhere. I am not used to having a full baggage allowance, because you know me, I'm Mr. Personal Item. I use my main bag as my wardrobe, because don't forget I'm doing a fly drive. Then you've got your cabin bag, but here's the genius move. For getting around airports and stuff, I keep my personal item in my cabin bag. So when I take it out, I've got half a bag for souvenirs. You're not getting much sewing. How do you pack, Buck?
I just threw everything in that.
Yeah, I bet you did. I bet there's no organisation, there's no folding.
No, I've literally just thrown it all in there like that.
But the other thing is, if the stupid airline lose your bag, you've still got a couple of days worth of clothes in this. Let's see if it works tomorrow. But you know what? I'm in a nice hotel, I'm having a pint. Can't get any better, can it? Well, we're at your typical airport looking breakfast place. £12 for a breakfast wrap. £12.
Yeah.
And if you wanted the add-on hash brown, it's £3.80. Yeah, disgusting. Is your chai latte good?
Yes.
Is it worth about 14 quid or whatever it was?
Maybe not, because it's from a tea bag.
Ah, right. But they do give us a biscuit. Well, I did pull a face at the price, but it is a nicely presented bacon bap.
It's also a nice size.
Yours looks good as well. Well, we're safely on plane number one, a nice little A320. Yeah, not the best leg room, but it's only for an hour and 20 minutes. Next stop, Dublin.
You're still recording?
I know, I'm waiting for you to say something funny.
You don't do that. I don't know.
I've never been to Dublin Airport before. I thought it'd be smaller. But no, it's really lively. Flights to all sorts of destinations. I think they're cashing in on the lack of... I don't think they charge as much as their passenger duty. However, like all airports, the food is really expensive. For some reason, it looks worse when it's in euros. Right, we're on leg 2 from Dublin to Toronto. The Aer Lingus A330 is really nice, and I thought we'd bagged a really good deal by having 2 seats together, but it is not as wide as the 787.
Damn right.
Yeah, Buck's not happy. But it's okay, at least we're not sharing it with somebody else, it's just the 2 of us. So, how many hours? 7?
7.5.
7.5 hours and we'll be in Toronto. Then we'll find out what car I'm getting. Well, we asked nicely and we got a kind of upgrade. I haven't got a window seat anymore, however, we've got a row of 4 for 2 of us. Cool. Means we can both sleep on the way. Right, after 18 hours travelling, we finally made it to a place called Orillia, which is where Buck's friend lives. And I'm in a sports bar called Chuck's Roadhouse. Now, the reason I'm really interested here is, look at that, surf and turf. Top sirloin and lobster tail. 25 Canadian dollars. That's about 13 quid. Yeah? Wow. So different to back home. And, yeah, they've got hockey on the telly. What else do you need? Beers are $5, which is about £2.60. Shame I've got to drive. And it looks like we've got a Canadian sunset going on. Yay. Right, well, we've just had our bill from Chuck's, and uncharacteristically for me, I tipped. Right, and it came in at $90. That's a meal for 3 people, one of which was premium surf and turf. I had a pint. Buck has had God knows how many iced teas. 3 iced teas. Break that down. $90 is 45 quid. That's 15 quid each for what I consider to be a night out. We like Canada. Go Canada. Well, that's breakfast out the way at the Stone Gate, and it wasn't bad. You know, some of these breakfasts I've had in hotels in America and Canada have been terrible. The Super 8, you get a coffee and a Twinkie. But yeah, not a bad hotel. So for the rest of the adventure, we're going to be in a car. Now this is a Hyundai Venue. It's not very big, and we're using this to help Henry move house. This will be fun. Right, this is Couchiching Beach. And yeah, it's on a lake. I know. Those of us that live in the UK will say, no, it's not a beach if it's on a lake, but it's got sand everywhere. So it's a beach. And this is the site of the surrender of Indian lands. Yeah, cannons against people on horses. I wonder who won. But yeah, as I say, Orillia is not really billed as a tourist town, but I'm here to do some work. So I thought I'd start the morning off doing something a bit touristy. It's also a bit cold for something a bit touristy. Yeah, I think I better go and do some work to warm up. And this is why I wouldn't let bulk drive in Toronto. In addition to endless traffic jams, and I mean endless traffic jams, they just cut you up, they beep if you don't go. The lights are really confusing because you go through them on red if it's clear to your right. Oh my God. I've been driving for 40 years, but nothing prepared me for this. Oh, well, this feels a bit weird. I bid farewell to bulk. You might be wondering why you don't see bulk. Bulk is, let's just say, camera shy, to say the least. And they've let me go. I'll stay a bit longer, Dad. No. Oh, enjoy yourself, Dad. Have fun. And we'll see you in about 10 days. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So farewell Toronto, and in a while it'll be farewell Canada. And I'm on my way for probably my first solo adventure in about 30 years. So it's quite nice that it stopped raining, I'll give it that. So I've got no idea if I can film during this, but I'm going to keep my eye out and see what happens. And the last time we came here, they took our passport and made us wait to come on, but we'll see what happens now.
Turn right, then you'll take the ramp to I-190 South.
I don't mind admitting that was nerve-wracking. I had to go and get my passport stamped, and they kept me waiting for ages. It's like a reception room in a police station, and it is scary, and it's full of people of all colours and shapes and collections, and you can hear them asking these people really awkward questions. And it's, oh my God, why am I here? Why am I here? And I could have sworn I heard one of them saying, Ian Melton, YouTube, not very... Yeah, then I heard the word president, and I thought, surely not. When when Mr. Trump wasn't president, me and Buck went to New York, and we thought it very funny to flip the bird at the Trump Tower in front of people. We got a round of applause from the New Yorkers. I thought, surely they're not going to have me for that. Whew. I said, I love Trump, I'm MAGA. I love Trump. I had visions of me getting arrested by ICE or getting turned around to Canada, and I booked the hotel and thought, oh my God, it's going to be wasted money. And I don't know, I've been to Canada. I don't want to go to Canada. Well, I love Canada as well, just in case this ends up on YouTube before I come back. But, whew, scary. You know, all of a sudden there are people who wish to do this country harm, and they want to keep them out. It's that simple. But whew, I'm glad I'm on my way again.
Take exit 2B for East Ohio Street towards Pennsylvania 28 North.
I should have filmed earlier because we've had some lovely scenery. Pennsylvania is really green, and we've got rid of that horrible rain that's trying to kill me. And it's been a really good run, but we're just about 2 miles out of the outskirts of Pittsburgh, and you wouldn't think we're on the edge of a major city. It's been a long old day, but do I settle down for the night, or do I go out and get something to eat? I think we all know what I'm going to do. Apparently I'm staying in a traditional German district. So, all that says to me is find a German restaurant. And that's the thing when you're travelling on your own. You want to find somewhere with a bit of life, not a chain. And this place looks like it's got it. That'll do me. Max's Tavern, Pittsburgh. And there you have a sampler of German beer. The only one I've heard of is Warsteiner, so that's a good start. Let's start with the one I know, the Warsteiner. This is a soup with dumplings. It's a chicken broth and it looks divine. After the Einlauf soup, I've gone for their famous Reuben, which is pastrami and corned beef on rye with fries. Sounds great.
Okay, so my name is Chadwin Penny, and I came from about 30 hours west of here, central to Western Canada. Why did we come here? We got a place in the North Shore, staying here for 3 days. We did some Googling, and we're looking for fine food. Just so happened to be this place. Now, is it pronounced Allegheny?
Allegheny.
See? Allegheny. And you need to have a local to tell you how to say it properly. There you go. There you go. So Max's Tavern is not even good. It's great. It is literally a place we come back again and again. Why? Not only the food, but the drink. You're going to get authentic food that's from Germany. Same with the alcohol. And you bump into an American, a man from Wales, and a man from Canada, and God knows what else you'll find. This is the place to come while you're here.
Brilliant, thank
Cheers.
you.
And this is Kelly.
So when I said road trip, I meant it. I started today 2 hours north of Toronto, then got cut loose by my kid, nearly got stuck at the border, and somehow ended up in a German bar in Pittsburgh. Now, as for why I picked Pittsburgh to start this trip properly, you'll have to wait until next week, but one thing I'm already learning is this trip works differently when you're travelling solo. When I'm with the kids, I head for a table, but on your own, the bar's where it happens. That's where the conversations start, that's where the random things happen, and honestly, that's where travelling alone starts to feel a little bit less weird. So, next week, a bit less driving, and a lot more doing.